Namaste, angels. I'm going to do a past life reading for one of my regular clients, beginning with food and hunger. When food and hunger shows up, it means that, you probably had some time in your life where you were concerned that there wasn't going to be enough to eat. And you may have carried some of that into this lifetime. Actually, it could be causing you in this lifetime to overeat, because it can cause us to take large portions or to buy more than we necessarily need out of a subconscious concern that we have enough. I also saw Atlantis for you, farmer, orphan, ships. I thought maybe sharecropper or Native American or something, like the Pilgrims coming with the ships, as far as farmer, Native Americans having been farmers, slave even, were things that I thought were possibilities. So let's see what else comes up. Oh, okay, galactic. Galactic, so we went from food and hunger to starseed. Yeah, when galactic comes up, it's an indication that we're not from here, from this planet, Earth, originally. Like we were sent here, which I think you already knew and understood. Food and hunger. Medicine man or woman. Didn't I say Native American, perhaps? So that might be it. Medicine man or woman is a healer, obviously. Food and hunger. Vows. Vows. What vows would a medicine man or woman take? Because usually when vows comes up, it's connected to a vow of poverty, vows of celibacy. Could be a medicine man or woman, I guess, or a healer in that sense, not a Native American, but connected to some sort of priest or priestess, and we're healing with other means, incense, and even Christian and Catholic and all sorts of religious people have healed or done healing work and used things like incense and essential oils. So I guess connected to that, there could be vows, like a monk, that there may be a healer, a priest, a priestess. Let's continue. Leaving or travel. And it's like a railroad track here, the suitcase. Food and hunger. One more. Trust and faith. That could be connected directly to the food and hunger, to be honest with you, because again, this is about concern and worry that you're not going to have enough. So there's a need to have faith that we're able to, even if we do feel like we're running short, we're able to manifest and bring things that we need into our life, including, sustenance. Food and hunger. Imprisonment or slavery. So yeah, I already mentioned that was something I was feeling, the slavery at least, not necessarily imprisonment. But imprisonment also, both could be connected to railroad tracks. Imprisonment, we have the chain gang. We have, that may be connected to a railroad track. With slavery, we have, yes, similarly, the blacks that were made to build the railroad. And you don't even have to have been black, to be honest, in a past life. So we'll see what comes up. quite interestingly, at least to me, the overall energy is Celtic. It might not be so interesting to you. You might say, oh yeah, I identify with England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland. Could even be a druid. There's all this earth energy coming out. You know, connection to trees. Maybe we'll see that show up. There actually is a tree card in here. And like some of the ancient sculptures, archaeology and stuff, like Stonehenge, which is funny. I did a daily today, you know, and you've been watching me for a while, so you know the way I used to do my dailies. Like I still do them that way. Like I go over the history for the day. You know, this happened on this day, and we, you know, try to figure out some of the numerology associated with, like, why things happen on a particular day, with, you know, associated with particular numbers and stuff like that. Anyway, what one of the things that happened on the 21st, I think it was, in history was Stonehenge was sold to a guy named Chubb, Chubb, for 6,600 pounds only. And it wasn't all that long ago. It was like 19 something, the year 19 something, if I remember correctly. And I thought, how odd. But it like really stuck with me. And it just came up again now. Like, you might be fascinated with stuff like Stonehenge and, yeah, like trees and archaeology, ancient archaeology, and maybe even wanting to visit these places, you know, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, England, the United Kingdom, I guess. So hopefully we'll get one lifetime, because that'll be easier for me. I'm being selfish right now. And I'd like this to represent you for that lifetime. And this, the masculine as it relates to you, so maybe representative of his connection to you. And this one just representing himself and what he was about. Your relationship and union, if you had one. Overall, what you might still be able to do today, work on today, that's from a past life to heal your connection or complete it. You know, some sort of karma that you had to work on or something. What the masculine can do. What the universe would have the two of you do, it will absolutely help you with that if you affirm to do it. And like an outcome card. So you. Mother. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, you were a family woman. You had a child or children. Who was the masculine as it relates to you? Wisdom. Or the masculine's connection to you was wisdom. So I don't know if you got wisdom from him, or he got it from you, or both. Who was he, or what is he represented by? Native American. Okay. Native American, medicine woman, mother, wisdom. Okay, all those go together. Hopefully I'll feel something about how Celtic fits into that, because I'm not yet sure. Other than, wait a minute, other than the pilgrims and such being from England, coming over to the Native Americans. All right, let me continue. Your relationship. Wow. Okay. Persecution and inquisition. This could be connected to the pilgrims coming over. They were escaping religious persecution, looking for a new place to live. Inquisition. Overall, Greco-Roman. This is representative of Europe. More Europe. Christopher Columbus was from Italy. Roman. What can you do to bring closure to whatever this situation is that you're still carrying something from? Right now, you're still going through karmic lessons, and they're positive. It's growth that you're going through. Blessings. This basically seems like a stay on path type of card. What about the masculine? He may have been a monk or nun. It might need to break, and connected to religious persecution. Or even if he wasn't a monk or a nun, you know, exactly, a religious person, a practitioner of something that wasn't accepted. And maybe one of these people that escaped to the New World. Perhaps you were the Native American, again, a medicine woman. You were wise. He sought your wisdom. He was intrigued by it, fascinated by it, turned on by it. It was nurturing. You were nurturing. You were a good mother. How do I want to say this? He wants to express, I'm going to say express his spirituality in a unique way. He doesn't follow traditional practices, is what I'm feeling. And that's not to say that he's disconnected from traditional religion or even Christianity per se. For example, like I feel that there might be a connection to him with that, like he's familiar with that and was even in past life. But maybe because of that, because he was present for some of these things, and he knew some people who were real about their shit as far as it related to religion and their practices, their spirituality. And he was also one of these people. And because of that, it's like I'm just getting like he knows the real deal. And so he can't express his religion or his spirituality like in the traditional way. Like he's got to do it this other way. And that may come from, that's showing up here, that may be connected to your relationship too from the past life. For example, if you were an Indian and he was from the United Kingdom, Britain or England, whatever, you would have had different belief systems. And if he was escaping religious persecution, he would have been one of those types of people that was like, I can't live like that, like how they want to fit you in a box. I'm not in that box. And he may have been open to something else and to your wisdom, again, by which he was intrigued. This is so interesting. What would the universe have the two of you guys to work on that could maybe help you? Health. Spiritual health? They're not being specific. Maybe health overall. But what's the outcome? Yeah, it's getting beyond phobias. Getting beyond phobias. Maybe it's fear of, I don't know how to put it, like the inability to be oneself and maybe to have a relationship with whomever one wishes, regardless of how that looks also. and if they are different and things like that. Wow, let's look at another spread. I want to do, I think, hashtag creepy deck and see if they can show us some sort of scenario that may have played out that we can explore healing on now, beginning with Ice Queen and opening to gifts. Also courting man. Ice Queen. Obstacles. Ice Queen. Brunette female. So we know that's the quote-unquote karmic energy. Possibly actually female in this deck. Oh. Ice Queen. And blonde female. That's the divine feminine in this deck. I just saw the karmic male too. It's possible there are people in your life now that were then too. And they didn't necessarily mean you very well then, and they don't now either. Possibly related to one of you. This is also a party of 3. Overall energy is children. This is representative of some sort of party of 3 too. Now I'm brought back to mother. I was just thinking as I was shuffling about the enslavement or imprisonment too. And either one actually could have applied and perhaps did, because imprisonment, for example, before being brought here, a lot of those people that had been persecuted, they had first been jailed, and then they were like sent here, you know. So people say, oh, you know, they sent the criminals and stuff to America. But then also, as far as Native Americans and enslavement, many Native Americans were also slaves. And I can tell you from my own family's history, because my mother and I had done at one point this like ancestry type of thing, and we got copies of birth certificates, and it did not even specify on most, you know, Native American. It just said mulatto boy, mulatto girl, you know. So these people were just taken and dumped, whether they were, you know, African descendants or Native American descendants or mixed between the two, you know, in the one drop stuff. They were, many of them, you know, were enslaved, not just actually Africans. So I don't know if these children, hopefully we'll find out, these children are connected to the fact that you were a mother in that other spread. But of course, they also mean, you know, new beginnings, new start. It is representative of a party of 3, but it's like when it's the children, it's like fertile energy, kind of like the Empress. The Empress. It means abundance too, so positive things. Okay, so the 2 of you from a past life represented here. And like the, how do I put this? The situation through which you guys were going, you know, with what you were dealing, that they want to show us. What came after. So like what the next phase was, where the masculine's head was at. obstacles, challenges, what you can do now to resolve whatever you've brought from this situation into your current life, what the masculine can do, and the two of you, what the universe wants to help you with if you affirm it, and the outcome here. Fair male, karmic male, and children. I think it's, I think so far that you're masculine in this past life. Your masculine may have been somebody who came along again and again, was infatuated by you, impressed by you. But you were already married, you were already taken, you were already a mother. And you guys still seem to have fallen in love or something. And probably wasn't the best situation. All right, so let's see how it's affecting us now. What was going on? Yep. Some sort of relationship that could not be out in the open. I'm thinking because you were native and he was white and you were taken, and so he had no right to you. He had no right to you. This is kind of intense for me. All right, where was his head at? It was on a past life then. This may be something that more than one lifetime just kept carrying through. All right, when this happened, what was the next thing? It led to some sort of pain or heartbreak. It was temporary, but it led to a problem. Any other challenges, blocks? Dating queen. And it's another, here's this 3 again. I don't think it was dating queen. I think it was just because you were taken. Because that's what I felt, basically intuitively. That's what I picked up about the situation. So not like you were dating a whole bunch of people. You just were not available. So there was somebody else. What can you do now? Do you have a desire to travel to another state or to Europe? Because that's coming up, actually. But this is also about any distance between the two of you. Even if it's not physical distance. I'm feeling like you're going to want to work to improve any distance between the two of you. But here's one of these ships that looks like, you know, one of the old pilgrim ships. 3 sails. And so like you might want to, it's either traveling to this place or if there's another, maybe do research on this time. You need to connect somehow with this era in order to like complete something. It might jog something, like a memory or something important. What can the masculine do here? Destiny. It's saying it's going to play itself out. In his case, anyway, it's fated to resolve itself. But you have work to do in this era, in this area. You like have to fix something, complete something. What would the universe have the two of you to do? Spiritual growth. Okay. Spiritual growth. That's easy enough to say. It's like, you know, as it plays out, of course, you're going to continue to grow. What's the outcome? Friendship. And more. A foundation. A solid foundation of friendship to start. I was added to a group today. I can't think of the name, but it's something like friendships in order to maybe one day have relationships. Friend added me because she says she likes my conversation. I'm a good conversationalist. That I'll participate with the posts, but I was trying to think of the wording, because that's what I'm seeing with this. It's like a friendship, a genuine friendship as the basis. Once this hurt is healed, and that can be done. Maybe you don't physically have to travel, but that can be done by you facing this situation. All right. I'm gonna keep trying to get to get more out of this. But what else can I do? Let's look at romance cards, maybe together with past life cards in a regular spread. All right, beginning with heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. All right. Also, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Heart-to-heart conversation says that you could be facing the situation too. Deception here. Someone is wearing a false self mask. Heart-to-heart conversations. And let go of control issues and allow this situation to unfold naturally. And that definitely works on the side. I mean, we all have the ability to do this. And the part of the masculine, I think, in this regard, is an easier way. He came up with past life, destiny. You know, those cards basically just say, let it play out. Yours a little bit more demanding. Heart to heart. An unrequited love is not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. I think this is because this is connected to the unavailability, emotional and physical unavailability that existed at the time. Again, you were taken. Heart-to-heart conversations. Overall, energy is finances and career, which is interesting. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Past life cards, we're starting with this Native American and opening to baby. So here's this connection again, mother, children, baby. Could have had a child together. Native American. Unrequited love, just like the romance angel said. So one rejected the other. I feel it was you having rejected him. Because these past relationships, let's be real, a lot of people, they call them relationships, and really they weren't relationships. They were situations of rape, basically. You know, white people went in and took these Native American women. White people went in and took these these African women. It's at some point, even if some of them came to be somewhat willing, still like Stockholm syndrome, it was unnatural. Native American. Authority figures could have gotten involved, since technically a relationship would have been illegal, and there's some forgiveness needed. Today is the feast day of forgiveness and cleansing, atonement. It's Yom Kippur. All right, I'm gonna hope again that we can stay focused on one lifetime. But yeah, I'm not in charge of the angels. I don't know. That's my selfish wish, so that I have a better time picking up on the energy and reading the messages. Spirituality and religion, and I think we saw this one before. Yeah, phobias also coming back. So spirituality and religion. Did this actually come up, or did I just feel something about this? I think I just felt something about this. I was talking about the masculine's spirituality, but this card didn't actually show, did it? I don't recall. So lessons and blessings is back as the overall energy. This card can also mean that you learned already a bunch of important lessons in the past that are now resulting in the blessings that you're receiving in this lifetime too. The masculine here, atop heart-to-heart conversations is back, and angels. So I kept feeling this religious thing with him, or spiritual thing with him. He's definitely guided to have some conversations with his guardians, with his guides, his ancestors, his angels, whoever he feels is his support. Again, he wants to live, he wants to express his spirituality in his own way. He does it his own way. He worships his own way. So I'm not even sure how that is, and I'm not supposed to. It's none of my business. however he chooses to do it. Some conversations with his guides and with himself, his higher self, from like in a really honest place. Surrounded by. Stay optimistic about your love life. Let go of the fear, basically, because it's attached with phobias here. Positive thinking instead, and faith will bring you romance. You might be worried about the rejection again, subconsciously. I'm not saying he's aware, like, oh, she turned me down 1,000 years ago. No, not necessarily. In the subconscious way, we bring phobias from those times into our current lifetime. From his subconscious here, yep, boom, it's the unrequited love. He's worried that, again, you're not interested. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going, and it's attached to wars and battles. This could be the Revolutionary War, again, the English coming over here, you being a Native American or a slave, or both. Wars and battles can often mean, rejected. Somebody was rejected, somebody was left behind Crowning you, the feminine. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life, and it's attached to galactic. So when all of this, when the stars align, basically, and when it's time, when you're here as some sort of star seed, perhaps Palladian or something, maybe, and you're here for a specific purpose, and it's all going to align. It's all going to be divine time ultimately for you to do this job and for everything to come together, and it will. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Surrounding you, you deserve love. You are lovable, and that's here with imprisonment or slavery. This would make you feel undeserving, or like you don't get anything, you don't have any rights, you're not doing anything, you're a slave, you're a prisoner. But that's not the case. You could be carrying that with you from a past life too. You do deserve love. You are lovable. Here's the finances. Remember, finances and career was the overall energy from the romance deck. It's attached to let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. I see you like asking for help. Asking for help. I can see somebody like asking for help, and it's just not coming together. It could be that because of the way you live, tribal, when this finance card comes up, because of the way you live, like a tribal way, right? Maybe the chief, or I don't know how it works exactly, but like there's no need for money and stuff. And so as a result, in this lifetime, you may not have the best relationship with money. You may feel maybe undeserving even of that, undeserving of abundance in general. Because you're just not used to having, or in that past life, in the subconscious where you're not used to having your own. Let your friends help you, I think, would also be your guides and your support, and God, the universe in general, like asking for help, asking for improvement, a better relationship with money, if that makes sense. Right here in between you is two cards with a couple kissing. How awesome is that? The one from the romance angel says trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. And this one says karmic relationship, which could be scary and really, really bad if I didn't know what karmic actually meant. And ooh, there's an 8 showing here. 8 is actually like the number that represents karma, at least for me. So I think that's pretty cool. There's an 8 up there, and there's like a plane or something. Karmic relationship is positive. I've said before, so you've probably heard me because you watch me, with regularity. The even divine unions are karmic. That's why I put karmic in air quotes when I'm trying to say, when I'm trying to use it like the way it's commonly used by so many other people now. It's like a derogatory term. I do this to say karmic, but really all of these divine unions, all of the unions, or anything, any circumstance, any relationship that the universe brings together, it is destined, and there is lessons and blessings, to be learned and to come from it. That's a karmic relationship, period. So this is positive here too. It's reaffirming the connection between the two of you. At the root, new love and father. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. And yeah, he may have fathered a child with you. For children and baby and all these things, and you, mother, to have come up, is what it seems like. And I think will be again in one way or another. Once we get past, like the old hurt that we brought into this lifetime, at the heart of the matter, very soon it's going to happen. Joined together with knighthood. And knighthood is about protecting those who are more like weaker than us, vulnerable, like a child, like a baby. And so that's very soon. Now, very soon is still, time is relative. And it's sitting right here next to or crossing one that says it's divine timing. Yeah, right here. So, I don't really know what very soon means in the scope of that. But it looks like, you guys will be protecting someone more vulnerable than you in the future. And, it is a relationship that's going to be together. A loving relationship, a romantic relationship. That's the connection. Further advice to the masculine from the hashtag creepy deck, communication. So this can be now, like fast forward 2018. What's the advice? What can we work on? Communication. And he's got, again, heart-to-heart conversations. So I don't feel like this communication is just with you. I think it's communication in general. He's got to talk some stuff out, including with himself, with his higher self, his angels, his God, however that works for him. He's got some communicating he needs to do. For you, dark male, this is the divine masculine for me in this deck. So it's another reaffirmation for you. Boom, okay? From the romance angels, codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. This is holding on to some sort of toxic energy, probably from a past life. Holding on to this, for among other things, potentially. Holding on to this fear of being like left behind, rejected. So that's something on which he needs to work. For you, in the meantime, love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Because remember, you were in a waiting period. So it's coming, but in the meantime, you've got stuff to do too. What was behind this? You deserve love, right? The imprisonment and the slavery. And you've got to work on your relationship with money too. Ask for help with that. From baby, again, that's his advice from this deck. You saw me reshuffle the cards. So that's that. And for you, biblical. Now this is super interesting because this card, biblical, sort of is about what I felt about the masculine before this card showed up. It's about sort of living, having been around, in biblical times, let's say, or scriptural times. I'm not going to say which, religion's Bible or holy book. Could have been any of those times. The Old Testament, the Torah, the the New Testament. Some other period. But having been around to see different practices. And so like really knowing from a real place and firsthand, even if it is your soul that knows firsthand and not your conscious self or manifestation on this plane. But yeah, you have your own spirituality, and that could, I guess, that could just mean the journey in general. It's unorthodox, right? It's not like what other people are practicing, and you want to be able to be free to do that. So that's something else you need to continue to grow and foster and work on. And that's it. I hope that you find this super helpful. I found it really, really interesting, and it wasn't even for me. I might go and do one for myself now, and see what I need to work on too. You have a few minutes left, so if anything else you want me to do, let me know. I'll be happy to give you another 15-minute reading of something. Namaste, Angel.